Okay, so now I'm going to talk on the endocrine signaling. Okay, the endocrine signaling pathway. Let us have a look how the endocrine signaling pathway is happening. Unlike the autocrine and the paracrine signaling, endocrine signaling pathway is actually different. In endocrine signaling, what happens? The signaling happens at a very distant location. The signaling molecule or the signaling cell might be present at a very far away location, and the receptor molecule or the target organ is present at a different. Very common example of the signaling endocrine signaling is chemical coordination, that is the hormonal regulation or the hormone targeting pathways. Okay, and in some cases the neural control and coordination, the neural controlling pathways, targeting pathways might also be coming into under this category. So let's have a look at how the endocrine signaling pathway is happening. Okay, endocrine signal. Now again, let us consider a cell. Okay, now let us consider a particular cell here which is having a nucleus as usual, and the chromatin material or the chromosome materials are present here. Now in this case, particular case, what is happening? The signaling molecules or the hormones particularly, or the neurotransmitters or chemical messengers, whatever it might be, are secreted by the nucleus or produced by the cell, or might not be produced by the cell. But in case of the insulin secretion, we have seen that in case of insulin secretion, also glucagon secretion, whatever it might be, in both the cases, any kind of it needs to be synthesized, right? First it needs to be synthesized, and then it comes for maturization. That modification, that is hormone that is secreted from the cell, from the nucleus, it comes up in the endoplasmic reticulum, which gets modified for its total functionality in the endoplasmic reticulum, in the rough endoplasmic reticulum particularly, and also somehow in the smooth endoplasmic reticulums also it comes, and also in some cases the Golgi complex also it comes, but particularly from the rough endoplasmic reticulum and all, which are attached with the nucleus actually, from those cases only the hormones or the protein molecules, the polypeptide types of molecules are being generally secreted in a modified version, which are fully functional. Now same here also, the secretory vesicles will help in secreting the particular hormone or the peptide molecule, whatever it is. Okay, so these are the peptide hormone, and it will release into the extracellular space. This is the signaling cell. This particular cell is the signaling cell. Okay, signaling cell, and this particular cell which is releasing the hormones into the extracellular space, this hormone, how does it travel to the distant cell? These hormones will take the pathway of blood vessels. In case of endocrine signaling, it is different. As it is migrating to a distant cell, it will travel through this blood vessel present here. Okay, the protein molecules or whatever it is, it will travel through the blood vessels to the target organ. And in the area of the target organ, where these are the endings, this part is the ending to target organ, and this part is the initiation from signaling molecule, signaling cell. Okay, now this portion, particular portion right here, might or might not be blood capillaries. Why? Because it is always not evident that the signaling molecule, okay, will always end up in the blood capillaries of the target organ. It is always not possible because the target organ, the signaling molecule which are traversing or traveling via the blood capillary, it can extravasate. Extravasate means go out of the blood capillary. Okay, here two terminologies are needed to be referred here. Here intravasation occurs. Intravasation. Intravasation or intravasate. Intravasate means the molecule of interest, a particular biochemical molecule in this case or a particular cell might enter forcefully within the blood capillaries. Okay, now when it will enter within the blood capillaries, it might not be the capillaries, it might be the arterioles or the arteries. Suppose the target or suppose the signaling molecule is present at a location where blood capillaries are also present, and devoid of the blood capillaries, the arterioles or arteries might also be present, or veins and venules might also be present. So it is always not that the ending of the blood vessels are present there. Arterioles or the venules or the capillaries are present, it is always not that. There might be arteries also present, because when the molecules are coming in the extracellular space, right? And from the extracellular space or the intercellular space or extracellular matrix specifically, it might not enter from the blood capillaries. It might also enter through the arteries, at the wall of the arteries or the wall of the veins. That is called intravasation. Okay, it's forcefully entering within the lumen, and now in the target ending to the organ, this ending portion might also not be the finest terminals of the blood vessels. It might be the portion where the arteries are attached. The arteries are only just coming in contact with the organ. Let's say in a common example, if I want to say, let's say in case of the thyroid hormone secretion, or let's say in case of adrenal cortex, adrenal hormone secretion, the adrenaline hormone or adrenocorticotropic hormone is secreted from the adrenal cortex of kidney. Okay, now the adrenocorticotropic hormone which is secreted from the adrenal cortex of kidney are carried via the blood capillaries from here, from the initiation portion to the final target area. Now that target area might be any portion of our body, any portion where injuries have happened, might have happened, or inflammation has happened, or any area where any kind of disorder might happen, any kind of cell damage might happen, okay, or tissue damage might happen. So the corticotropic or the steroids specifically are functioning to acting as a suppressive hormone in order to reduce the immunological excitement, too much immunological interference. Okay, now in that case, it is not always evident that the molecules at this area will end up from the capillaries only or finest blood vessels only. It might come out in the course of its movement, it might come out from here also, from at this particular area, from at this particular area, from at this particular area. It might come out anywhere. Okay, in the extravasiculated space. Extravasiculated space means the area outside the capillaries. It might come out anywhere. That is called extravasation. Extravasation. Okay, it might come out anywhere. Normally, this intravasation and extravasations are termed in case of any kind of cell behavior. Okay, cell behavior means the cell is forcefully entering within the capillaries and coming out. But in case of cell signaling, it is very often or common that any kind of particular molecule might also exhibit the same phenomena. It might also enter forcefully within the lumen of the blood vessel anywhere from the extracellular space, and it might come out to other extracellular space at the target area by the process of extravasation. Okay, now when the molecules are coming out, here the target cells are present. Okay, Suppose the target cells are present here. These are also having the nucleus and all, the genome. Obviously it would happen, every cell is happening, and the receptors are present here in the target cell. Okay. Now when these molecules are coming out, extravasating, these molecules will come and bind with the receptors here, and when it will bind with this particular receptor here, what will it do? It will again trigger the cellular response. Okay, these are the target cells. And these particular things are receptors. It will trigger the cellular response, whatever it might be. Okay, so this is how the endocrine signaling is happening. But this particular type of signaling is seen specifically in case of the chemical coordination or the endocrine functionings, and also in some cases in the neural coordinations also. Okay, in the nervous system functioning and all, this particular process or the pathway. Okay, so this is how the endocrine kind of signaling, endocrine pathway or endocrine signaling cell communication is happening.